Brokeback Bachelorette? The bromance getting romantic that has millions buzzing online. But is it for real or for ratings?
The possibility of coming onto The Bachelorette and falling in love with a man never crossed my mind.
Then, The Big Bang Theory's Jim Parsons is talking about the shocking season finale breakup no one saw coming and how he's performing an act of God.
I was God, but I wasn't really Godding, you know?
And are you there, Judy Blume? It's the ladies of The View, the superstar author who wrote beloved classics for generations of kids and adults, has a brand new story to tell. This is The View with Whoopi, Nicole Wallace, Rosie Perez. And today, Raven-Symoné and Molly Sims hit the co-host chairs. It all starts now.
Welcome to The View. Welcome to The View, y'all. Well done. See, you guys didn't need any rehearsal. We knew you had it in you. Hey, you know, the world met Caitlyn Jenner for the first time yesterday in a glamorous Vanity Fair photo shoot. Hours later, she opened a Twitter account. It quickly shattered President Obama's record by getting 1 million followers in 4 hours. What did you think when you first saw the photos?
I was sitting in the airport yesterday, and it came on. I was like, oh, my gosh. First of all, I was like, who is that? And then I realized it was Caitlyn Jenner. She looks amazing. I was so, like, proud to be at this moment in the world and how so accepting. And I loved what, you know, she said in the article. She said, if I hadn't have done it, I would have just blown my entire life.
Died at the end of my life.
I would have died. Yeah. And I think it's amazing where we are. And she looks incredible. I want the corset.
Yeah.
She gave Jessica Lange a run for her money.
I thought she looked beautiful. I thought she was absolutely amazing, and I think that she's going to give power to a lot of people in the community that need that, and she knows it, and she's working her stuff, and I mean, she's a hot woman.
Yeah, and I would also, not taking anything away from Caitlyn, because I thought this was very, very brave, but there were transgenders before her, such as
Laverne Cox.
Laverne Cox. She was on the cover of Time magazine, and so many other pioneers in this field that are just making a change and are taking a brave step out. So I wanted to give them credit as well.
What do you think? What do you think?
Well, I tell you, I was annoyed when Bruce looked better than me as a man. So now I'm really pissed as hell. But Caitlyn is still cuter than me. I don't know. Listen, I'm thrilled for her. This is something that has been part of her life, the secret of her life. And now she's free. And so, you know what? We all have our secrets. We all have our secrets. We don't tell anybody, and we struggle with them. You know what? God bless you, honey. God bless you.
Yes.
Anyway, Hillary Clinton, who is not God, by the way. Hillary Clinton is arguably the most high-profile candidate running for president right now, but the latest polls have found that a lot of people, you know, potential voters, have an unfavorable view of her. What a surprise. More than half said she's not trustworthy. She doesn't care about regular people. Is the tide, people are saying the tide is turning against her, or is she just really a politician?
Yeah, well, Nicole and I were talking about this earlier, that this is not the first time that hate has been thrown Hillary's way.
No.
You know, when she was First Lady and she took on health care, people were very, very angry with her, and you know, they were like, down with Hillary, down with Hillary. You know, and the same thing was when she became a carpetbagger to represent New York State. People couldn't stand her. She got elected anyway. She got elected anyway, and she
Wrong carpet person.
Yeah.
Wrong carpet.
Yeah.
Not
one. Bag.
I mean, interesting though is that since 2001, when she, as a U.S. senator, she was widely respected on both sides of the aisle, and so these are the lowest numbers she's had since she's been a politician, and it's just daunting to start your campaign at a low point in your own political career. I agree with you. She's been through highs and lows. I've worked for politicians with lower numbers than these, and they've won the presidency. So it's way too early to throw in the towel on Hillary Clinton.
Does it surprise you that her numbers are so low?
It surprises me that they're doing nothing. If I worked for a candidate whose numbers went upside down, which is what it's called when you're more unpopular than popular, if I worked for a candidate who went upside down, I would hit the ground running. I would stop holding back, because her risk now is that a narrative is cemented in people's minds that she took foreign money at the foundation, that she doesn't take elections.
But that was the point. That's why that was done. That's why all that narrative is out there. And I would caution people again. It's a long way. To election time. So you're going to hear stories about all of them on both sides of the aisles. Do your homework. Do your homework. Find out if the foreign money that she took was reasonable or unreasonable, how it made you feel. Do not take the narrative from the media, because the media is going to keep you crazy. That's because you would be great with her, because I think you would say to her, listen, you're in the doo-doo bowl right now. You're floating around. You need to do X, Y, Z. Well, because Nicole will tell you the truth. She won't jive you. She won't tell you what she saw on television. She'll tell you what she's discovered on her own.
Can I ask you a question then?
Yeah. Yes,
so there's other people that are mad. I read in the news that she has all this money and she's a billionaire. But at the same time, if you don't have that money, you have to, go out and do fundraisers to raise this money. I think she should use her personal money for her campaign, like some other people that we don't like to talk about that much. But I don't see what's wrong with it. And also, is it a reason for her numbers to go down because she hasn't talked to the news?
Yeah. Well, to answer your question, Donald Trump's the one talking about using his own money, and he should, because I think he's a clown. I don't know who would write him a check. But, I do. Honestly, I think he's... No. I'm going to get in a lot of trouble. I think he's bad for the Republican Party, because he speaks to xenophobia. He speaks to a very small sliver of the party that I don't think is healthy. The Republican Party, in its greatness, is all about welcoming everyone, and it's about growing the economy. It's about increasing opportunity. It's about making schools better.
And back
it's not
to Hillary.
So anyway, Hillary being rich is nothing to do with her problems. It's the fact that she described herself as flat broke to Diane Sawyer in an interview when she hasn't driven herself in her own car to the grocery store in 2 decades.
Don't forget, they were flat broke.
Right.
They were. It did. I mean,
broke Clinton style doesn't mean food stamps.
Well,
it still means private planes.
It
still means private planes.
But private planes are given to them because this is how they travel.
But if you're flat broke, you don't take a private plane.
If you're going to work, you do. Oh, no. Listen, if somebody says to you, listen, come do my fundraiser, you say, I can't really do it. I don't want to fly. I don't want to get on. I don't want to get that. Give me the plane. I'm not going to lie. I will take a private plane. I'm not going to lie. But I think that people's perception.
They had legal debt. She was not broke. She had no problem paying for groceries.
Well, we don't actually know what they did. We know that they ran out of money because he got hounded and had to pay all that stuff back.
They had legal debt.
So what do you think is the biggest thing hurting her now?
Right now, she's let a narrative set in. It's not any one story. It's Clinton cash. It's donations from foreign governments to the foundation. It's not taking questions from reporters. It's Benghazi. It's an email server at your house. Obama doesn't get to keep his emails hidden in his closet.
And let me reiterate. Hillary has been down before, and she's gotten off the canvas and has won the final rounds. And I think that it's too soon. It's too soon. We're probably in the 3rd or 4th round. We have a lot more to go.
And God knows, who knows? Maybe Vanity Fair will have a news story that Hillary actually was, Hilton. Who knows? Anything can happen. It's American politics. It's America.
It's better than the Kardashians.
When millennials want to find out about what's going on in politics, most of them apparently are getting their information from Facebook. I did not know that Facebook had a news feed, but I'm not on it that often. I didn't know that. But that doesn't disturb you, and that doesn't surprise you. So tell us why not.
It doesn't surprise me.
Okay, so I don't get my news from Facebook. Right. I actually have an app that's Huffington Post and BBC. Right. I like BBC the best because I like world news. No offense.
You can make all your own
I have that too. But at the same time, you're coming to a place where we live. You're coming to us. You're understanding that the world is changing and that you need to give me the information just as much as anyone else, and I get it online. I get it through a text message.
Online, okay, but on Facebook, because now maybe I'm a bonehead and don't know that much about Facebook, but I never thought, I didn't know there was like a Yahoo Face or something.
No, it's
where
like
you
CNN has Facebook.
It has everything.
Oh, so it's going to other Facebook pages. I got you.
Yes, and it gets you a ticker at the bottom of your Facebook.
It's basically a news feed.
Yeah, I don't care where you get the information. I was happy to see this because I was happy to see that you guys were getting political. I hate always saying you guys. The millennials are consuming political information, and I don't care if they take it in 140 characters on Twitter. I don't care if they read it on Facebook.
There needs to be more.
I'm just relieved and happy that they're getting it.
There needs to be more.
Yeah,
because I don't know what's going on that much right now, and I'm really honestly studying because I'm on the show now. I have to know what's going on. But when I was at home, I had hair and makeup artists like, you don't read the ballot that comes in your mail? I'm like, no, I got stuff to do. Well, like, this is not a part of my life right now. But if it's on my phone and I'm getting that text message of Amber Alert, thank you, I read it, I look for the thing. You got to text me. I'm busy. Did you text?
Jeb Bush's email list.
I think that it's great that they're getting news, but here's the problem. The world owes you nothing. They do not owe you anything in regards to giving you information or what have you.
Right.
And what happens is what we're just talking about Hillary here. Sometimes that information is tainted or one-sided. And sometimes the Republican Party or the Democratic Party is only going to give you the information they want you to hear.
But at least
or want you to read.
At least it's information
I didn't
for us
say
to
that.
choose on
I
whether...
didn't say that. I said it was a great thing, but at the same time, go out and do your own homework past Facebook.
But I do my own homework. But it's where we are in the world today. It's where we are in society, and everything is constantly changing. Facebook will be out in the next 2 years. It's Snapchat, it's Vine, it's everything. If you want us to know something, I'm not saying you have to come to us, but you have to be where we are.
There are people who don't want you to know certain information, and they will withhold that information, and you have to go out and seek it if you want to be politically aware and politically active. And millennials are not as politically active as
We're going to go and come back, and we're going to finish this conversation. So when we last were here, there was a conversation going on about millennials and what they should know and how they're getting news and how that's going. So
I just want to say to Rosie's point of they don't owe us anything. I think the government, in my mind of what it is, they're public servants to us. And they're supposed to be helping us live in a world that's a little bit better. And we're changing. That's why you need to change marriage laws and things of that nature. We need that information. You need to know that we will vote and bring people out like we did Obama. He came to us. He made a push for us. And that's why we came out. Yes, my mom told me to and other people. Yeah. But I had the information close enough to my wheelhouse.
Well, here's the deal. There's so much stuff out there that you guys got to catch up with because you haven't been paying attention. I have friends who were in Florida said, young people your age saying, oh man, when does stop and frisk, not stop and stand your ground come into being? It's like, well, it came in a while ago, and if you had been paying attention, because these are the laws that affect you.
Where do we go? Where do we go?
Where do you go? You go to the people with the information. You ask questions. You got, you know, where did we go? We went to people, we had less information than you guys got. We had in the old days, we only had 3 networks. We had 3 networks, and they only said the same. Nobody cared. You had to ask people. You had to engage. You have to engage the old people.
Here's the thing, though. I think there's something getting lost. You can go online and find whatever you want and never leave your house, but you will only go this deep. If you want to, she's changing the world. She's an AIDS activist, an education activist. She's changing policy. If you want to have an impact, you got to get up and go to the Hillary Clinton rally if that's your side. You got to go to the Jeb Bush rally when he comes to wherever you live. You've got to go and listen to these guys. You got to get a spot on the rope line and say, how would you vote on the constitutional amendment to ban gay marriage? What would you do?
But
and then
I just don't see that happening.
Well, then you cannot bitch. You cannot bitch about what's. This is what it is, babe. This is what it is. You can change it. It will change. It will evolve. It always will. But for right now, this is what we need. We need y'all to stand up and say, we don't like stand your ground rules because it affects us in crazy ways.
Going to a Hillary Clinton rally is gonna is gonna make that happen.
May I say something?
I'm sorry, baby. That was one thing. Right. That was what she was suggesting. What I think we're saying is you have to get out.
Jeb Bush rally.
Yeah, but what we're saying is that right now, as we go into this transition, you guys have to become more proactive. And you have to know that a lot of folks are trying to catch up.
I think you guys know everybody.
But we're talking about old folks and young folks,
you know? What about online voting? I'm sorry, I keep cutting you off, Miss Rosie, but what about online voting? You say nobody can come out. You have it on a Tuesday. It's been that way since voting rights were in place.
We have been trying to change it. Well, we can't change it until y'all start bitching about it, too.
I'm bitching!
All right.
Can I, alluding to your point, when I did become an AIDS activist, I was very young. I was 19 years old.
And did you march? And did you go to meetings?
Prior to that, I was saying, why is there an AIDS epidemic? How come there isn't a cure? How come they're
not letting people go into the hospital?
Or get drugs? How do I fight this? I didn't know. I didn't know. And there was this wonderful woman named Lori Fabiano, who was the head of the GMHC.
Yep.
I went to her. And I said, please teach me about advocacy.
Yeah.
Please teach me about this and that. And I made many mistakes.
But these are the people who change the world.
That's why Beyonce is going to be more popular to us than a politician.
But that's why you'll never change the world the way she did. She got AIDS drugs to people that you need to help people that you care about. That's all it is. She cared about.
I think we need to hit in the middle.
But here's the problem that you guys don't understand is there's a lot of folks, you know, these gadgets and Facebook and all of this social media stuff happen like this for us. We have been expected to know how to do it. You know, my great-granddaughter, this little girl has slide finger.
Yeah.
She was born with slide finger. She knows what to do.
I can do it.
Yes. They know what to do. So what you have to understand is we're trying to catch up as well because we have a lot of stuff to unlearn because it is a brand new world. But you all have had less time to have to deal with the stuff that we've had. So you all have to be much more patient and understand we're trying to get to you. We're trying to get to that middle because time is a wasting.
Yes.
We don't want to lose y'all. Now, we're going to go and come right back because we don't want to lose you either.
Bad rap? How the son of Tom Hanks is causing a social media firestorm over the most controversial word in America. Next.
You know, the fabulous Tracy Morgan is speaking out for the first time on TV since his devastating car accident. He says he still has a big hurdle to climb on the road to recovery. Take a look.
I love comedy, and I wonder how I'm gonna be funny again, how I'm gonna get to it. And the fans let me know we can't wait for you to come back. We can't wait for you to come back, and I can't wait to make them laugh again.
Oh, that's heartbreaking.
Crazy.
You know it, right?
Yeah, there's no way you're not coming back. First of all, that cane alone is enough to get you going with material forever. Come on, we'll wait as long as it takes.
Yeah.
We'll do that. And maybe, you know, maybe we're going full circle because we started this morning with Bruce Jenner, and we're going to sort of end this bout of Hot Topics kind of with The Bachelorette, which was on last night. And apparently romance is in the air, heading in a direction that I think a lot of people never saw coming. Take a look.
I feel like I've connected with JJ probably more than Caitlyn right now because we're just so similar. It's actually absolutely insane. I never thought that I would meet someone like that here. We've grown very close, almost too close, I think, at times, in the room and stuff like that, and in the shower. The possibility of coming onto The Bachelorette and falling in love with a man never crossed my mind. But I believe in the process, and at this point, I'm a success story.
You are, where you're from, or what gender you are, you can fall in love with anybody. It doesn't always have to be sex, although it might be, but it could not have been. And I think that it's about time for an LGBT bachelorette or bachelor on TV. It's necessary.
I mean, I'm sorry to be a buzzkill, but I think they are hot, drunk, and bored.
You think it's a stunt?
I think they are hot, drunk, and bored, and only like one guy gets the girl, and so they're like, what else is here?
I'll just put it like this. People have been saying for quite a long time that it is time for the bachelor or bachelorette to be a same-sex bachelor or bachelorette. And maybe this is their step in that direction. But, you know, love is in the air, honey. You get it where you can. You do. You do. You get it where you can.
That was a big shocker. I watched it last night. I was like, oh my gosh.
Why were you shocked?
It just came out of nowhere. I'm like, when he was like, I'm falling in love with him, I'm like, okay, romance, real romance. I'm like,
I'm with you.
Here's a show coming up.
Yeah.
The Bachelor, for real. For real. And you know, one of my favorite people, this is going in a whole other direction, which you're used to, but one of my favorite people and one of my good friends, the master of horror, the fabulous Stephen King, has a brand new book out called Finders Keepers. And thanks to Scribner, members of our audience get to take one home with them. And we will be right back with the amazing and fabulous Jim Parsons.
Are the Big Bang Theory...
You love him as Lord of the Geek Sheldon Cooper on TV's biggest sitcom, The Big Bang Theory. But now he's playing the almighty himself on Broadway's In Act of God. Please welcome Emmy winner Jim Parsons.
I really nearly messed that up really bad, you know?
It's a different kind
they
of
said
groove.
it's in the middle, so I was like, go to the middle, you know? I follow direction, but I don't
that was
improv
like
well.
the sign language.
Both of you were like going, go. It's subtle, but it's helpful. So, The Bachelorette, huh?
What do you think?
Oh, well, I think, first off, it's very funny. You have your view on it is kind of like it's like prison for these people. There's one girl, and then, what else are we supposed to do? What the hell? But no, I've never watched it. Maybe time to check it out. Do you believe that?
I just said, I'm like,
do you believe it? It seems stunty to me, doesn't it?
She thinks it's a stunt.
You do.
Even if it's a stunt, thank goodness it's happening. Just changing.
I love this romance, but I don't think it's real.
I think the music really kind of blew it for me. Because playing the Brokeback Mountain theme just didn't seem right.
But what you say is true. I mean, if we're going for, if a ratings draw is now gay love, we've come a long way, baby.
We have.
I mean,
But I think that should be the next season, right?
Yeah,
it should be a same-sex marriage, a bachelorette, you know, a woman looking for a woman or a man looking for a man. I think trying to sneak it in as like a trial balloon is a little
Jim, what would God say about this?
He live and let love, or maybe that.
I saw the play, and God has a firm stance on gay marriage
He
and gay
says,
love.
thou shalt not tell others whom to You
guys have to see this play. I saw it on opening night. It's absolutely absolutely amazing. It's based off of a book and also somebody that, I'm sorry, I forgot the guy's name.
David Javerbaum.
David, thank you very much. He started the Tweet of God. And how do you like playing this part so far? You're in a toga and plaid.
Yeah. Well, because the premise is that God has come down and taken over. There I am playing behind us. You can see my plaid shirt sticking out. He and my red shoes. Thank you. Those are supposed to be mine. He came down, he took over my body, and he's got some stuff he needs to say to the people. But if he couldn't say it as him, because his essence is ungraspable, so is this too confusing? And he just said that I have a winning and likable personality, and that I will make his message go down easier.
I like that. And I saw you in another interview.
Yes.
First of all, I love you in Big Bang Theory. And I have friends that are here today that have never wanted to come since I started this job. But because you're here, they came to see you. So I know you've touched lots of people's lives.
I hope I don't disappoint.
No, I mean, just the entrance alone, right?
Oh, you're right. You're right.
I heard you say with Charlie Rose that you memorized this play and that you did it in addition to the show. But was that hard with all the thou shalt, you know?
It was very, well, what was funny was that, like, as opposed to like the TV show where there's a bunch of science that I really don't understand a lot of it.
That makes me feel so much better. I feel so dumb when I watch Big Bang.
No.
Yeah, I do. She's the science nerd.
But this was more of a situation, everything rang a bell. I went to church all my life, and so everything rang a bell. But there was, like, between the omnipresence and the omniscience and the, there's another one, too. I say it every night. There's so many omnis that I'm like, I know what they all mean, but I really had to keep looking up to go, you should really double-check that before you know.
So you don't switch any of them?
Yeah. It's biblical speak is like learning Shakespeare or science. It's like, we don't talk like that.
Yeah.
Thou shalt, though.
So that makes you even more impressive to me.
Does it? Thank you. I'm here to impress you.
Yeah, I'm impressed.
Thank you.
And so are they.
Okay, Jen.
Yes?
I have to ask you, Big Bang Theory season finale, Sheldon and Amy, they break up over Skype. Devastated. You were going to propose to her.
Yeah. This was news to me, by the way.
It was news?
Oh, always. And in fact, I have no idea what's coming next.
That was my next question.
Yeah.
You have no idea.
No, although...
It would be unbearable for me.
I would find it unbearable to go to work and not be paired with her. I really would hate that. So, I mean, certainly as an actor, my wish is to keep getting to work with her. I can't imagine, without knowing, I can't imagine they're going to keep those two apart. They're a wonderful couple.
I mean, you're so good at it. I mean, the show is amazing.
Oh, thank you. She has every right to be frustrated, you know, the way they've set it up. I like how they handle it.
It took you a very long time to get there.
That being said, he's always, and I say this is all serious about a sitcom, but he's always been very upfront about who he is, and, you know, he's very honest with her. And so I think I hope it's a momentary lapse of catch a breath and, you know, get back to, I don't know.
Well, speaking of romance, how's Todd?
Todd is wonderful. Todd's probably watching this right now. Hi, Todd. Good morning.
Hi, Todd. He's so cute.
Yeah.
And you guys have been together for 12 years.
12 years.
12 years. Are you going to get married?
I don't know. I mean, I guess I kind of think so, but like there's no date in the book or a ring on a finger, so I don't know. I don't. You say no? You know what? You know what's very funny to me? I mean, I'm 42 now, and so much of my adult life that wasn't really a possibility or whatever. And I have grown more interested in the idea and certainly supportive of the notion.
Absolutely.
And if my were to get married would help the notion in general, even that might be enough to make me want to do it. My own personal interest in it has never been that high.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of it has to do, well, no, that's not funny.
I hope Todd feels the same
Well,
way.
no, I mean, both of us were roughly the same age, and we just didn't grow up with that as a possibility, and so we have a very, very happy life.
Well,
and very together.
I mean, I always say to people, it depends on what you're looking for.
Yes.
If you're marrying for, you know, reasons that have to do with, you know, if something, God forbid, should happen to me, I want to make sure that this person can. If it's for that reason, okay.
Yeah.
But I think if you love somebody, you're married to them.
That's exactly how it feels. That's certainly how it feels.
I don't do it.
No, I can see that.
And he makes you so, so happy. You guys are so, so happy.
Oh, completely.
Do you guys want kids?
No children. 2 dogs will do just fine, thank you.
Our thanks to Jim Parsons. You can catch an act of God at Studio 54 right here in New York City. We'll be right back. You go see it. Go see it. It's great.
Thank you.
Every every girl in the world read, "Are you there, God? It's me, Margaret." And the one and only Judy Blume talks about writing children's classics.
Welcome one of my favorite people on the planet, the fabulous Judy Blume. At last. We've been trying to make this happen for so long, I can't even tell you. But, you know, over the last 46 years, you've written 32 books, which have sold more than 85 million copies worldwide. And this new one is about crashing planes?
Oh, stop.
What's the story and why?
No, it's about families. But when I was growing up in Elizabeth, New Jersey, winter of 51, 52, this bizarre thing happened for real. Remember, it was the 50s. It's much safer now.
Right.
3 planes.
Tell her that again.
It's much safer now, Whoopi. Fell out of the sky in Elizabeth, New Jersey, in 58 days.
Yes.
One by a junior high, my junior high. One by the all-girls public high school. One on the grounds of the only orphanage in town.
Wow.
So it was like, to us as kids, what are they trying to tell us? Who's out to get us? And the boys were like zombies and aliens and flying saucers, and the girls were like sabotage. And that was such a sexy word. It was like sabotage. So I think, you know, it was exciting and thrilling, but it must have scared us to death.
I would think so.
So I've been a writer 46 years, right?
Yeah.
So how come I've never told this story?
Yes.
So I asked myself that. And everybody else asked me.
Right.
Because it was there. I knew about it. I never forgot about it. And I remember everything.
Right.
And the only thing I can think is that it was buried so deep. My daughter became a commercial airline pilot.
Wow.
And she reads a draft of this book and she says, "Mother, you never told me this.
Wow.
How could you not have told me this story?"
Is there anyone in this story based on anyone in your family? Is that true?
Well, here's the deal. The people on the planes they were based on real people.
Right.
And the bad things that happened on the ground to people, that was based on real people. Everything else is fiction. But there is a character called Dr. O. He's a dentist. And he is very much inspired by my own father, who was a dentist.
I love that.
And you know, it was the dentists who were called in to identify the victims.
Yeah.
But no one ever talked to us about it. I mean, my father never came home and said, well, I knew what he was doing, but no one told us because it was the early 50s. They didn't tell us anything about anything.
I just have to say, you changed my teen years. I mean,
mine too.
Honestly, I've loved you for however 42 years. But why did it take you 17 years to write this book? Because it's been 17 years since you wrote an adult book.
Oh, yeah, but I wasn't working on this book for 17 years.
No.
This book took long enough, 5 years.
Right.
Yeah.
5 years is a long
time with one book,
A long time for one book. A long time to do the research, which I loved. And all my nonfiction writing friends said, oh, yeah, you love the research, but then you still have to write the book.
Right.
You say you can't imagine writing another book. Is this the end?
I say that, you know, my husband says, she says that every time she finishes a book.
But I want to ask you, because one of the things, as you know, that drives me crazy is you probably have more books on the banned book list. You have helped young people figure out so many things. Why do they ban your books? What is it about you, Judy Blume, and your books?
Look at me, I'm scary.
What is it, baby?
77 years old and I'm scary.
It's insane.
Well, it's people who, you know, it's fear of if my kid reads this book,
they might
my kid
actually
will
know what's happening.
They might do it. It might happen to them, right? I have news. It's going to happen whether your kid reads this book or not. I mean, they don't want to talk to their kids about
having their. I mean, I'm with Molly. Your books raised me. I feel the same way you did.
In the 80s, you know, I remember when some of the books were banned, and my parents let me read you, but other parents did not, and I think it all came from fear.
Yeah.
And it changed who I am. It changed how I feel about sexuality and my own. It's amazing.
Fear is contagious.
Yes, it is.
And so we've gone from extreme right, religious right, who were the first ones to do this, all the way to the left.
Yes.
Everybody wants to get rid of something. There's no such thing as a safe book. So,
well, really, and if you keep children stupid, they only become stupid children. You don't, it doesn't help anybody.
Exactly.
You know, listen, you have to come back as often as you want to. Come in and talk to us, because I still believe that you're probably one of the best beacons of light for young people on the face of the earth.
Writers in our country.
Yes. Thank you to Judy Blume. We will be right back.